doubles and coffee. No election observers, no international election observers for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, stated by Keith Christopher Rowley, a man who tried everything in his power to delay local government elections. Since 2019, he had a plan to delay it. Kamla Persad told them and warned them in the parliament in 2019, and flash forward 4 years, the Privy Council had to be invoked in order to force Keith Christopher Rowley to eventually have to call the local government election date, and he's still trying to delay and stretch. Keith Christopher Rowley, a man who has shown that he has no moral fiber or ethical standards, that he does not even understand the tenets of playing golf in his own private golf game, when he kicks the ball in the bush when nobody could see. That gives you insight into the human being. Keith Christopher Rowley, who has ensured that the niece of a former sitting cabinet minister of the People's National Movement is in charge of the EBC, and the best friend of the deputy political leader of the PNM, Nyan Gadsby Dolly, and the current Minister of Education, from St. Augustine girls, schoolmates, school friends, best friends, is in charge of the EBC, that referees a two-party competition. That surpasses the standard for apparent bias by miles, even if you want to say that it's not actual bias, but we in the UNC know that it is. The standard for apparent bias is that a reasonable person would believe that the best friend of a sitting PNM minister would have an affinity, a love, and a connection to that person and that person's organization, and therefore would have a bias against people unknown. That is the standard that must be upheld. But Keith Christopher Rowley, who controls the EBC, who controls the government, who instructed the EBC to create 3 seats and tell them where to design it from and cut it out from PNM areas, Keith Rowley is telling you no election observers. But you saw what happened in Tobago. Because Trinidad and Tobago, PNM could get away with a lot of things. But you see Franco men cheating and trying to thief and steal an election. The people take that as an ultimate disrespect. But you have to look inside the mind of Keith Christopher Rowley. I'll use one example. I could give you many. But look inside the mind, the heart and soul of this gentleman who is telling you, off the cuff, no election observers. Let's take the collapse of the Police Service Commission and the state that we are in now, with a second chosen, favored Commissioner of Police without merit, chosen by the political directorate, by executive overreach, by Keith Christopher Rowley wanting to select someone that he has control over. Trinidad and Tobago is facing the worst crime scourge without any hope of alleviation of our situation because of those actions of Keith Rowley. And they go back long, you know. They go back further than all of us thought. When Keith Christopher Rowley appointed, with the support of the United National Congress, Paula Mae Weeks as president, he had inside information that she had a bias and a love towards the PNM. The country didn't know. The UNC didn't know. We thought, and I didn't know. I saw this lady. She was a lecturer of mine way back when I was coaching and doing law. We thought that Paula Mae Weeks was qualified, intelligent, brilliant for the position of president. We didn't know that quietly, surreptitiously in her life, she had developed a closeness to the PNM, but it manifested itself with the Police Service Commission, the appointment of independent senators, and mainly the Police Service Commission chairman, Bliss C. Persad, who was a lifelong friend and I went to bishops with her and so on. But Munilal said in the parliament when Rowley brought Bliss C. Persad forward that this lady was also on a PNM board, the chairman of the CDA board, taking instructions from a PNM cabinet minister, and therefore should not be appointed to the independent chair of the Police Service Commission. That's where it all began, and the media ignored. But Rowley knew what he was doing, because when one is a cheat, when one is a liar, when one plans to procure without procurement and do things to run amok and against the rule of law, one needs to have something in their back pocket, a get out of jail free card. And what is that card? Control the people who could put you in jail. So Rowley knew that he had that card. And on August 11, 2021, he went to Paula May Weeks to pull that card, to draw that bad card, to make and instruct Bliss C. Prasad to withdraw a merit list that was duly constituted, legitimately and constitutionally, causing the president to breach the Constitution and the law, and Bliss C. Prasad to misbehave in public office in order to thwart a merit list, so that Keith Christopher Rowley could hand select and pick the Commissioner of Police. Think about what sort of human being would do that, and what was his rationale he used to give President Paula May Weeks the passion and the evidence to break the law. FUL, Gary Griffith, FUL, corruption, FUL, and that set off a chain of events that has led to the abduction of Brent Thomas in Barbados, an arms dealer, legal arms dealer who had no criminal record, with arms dealers and gun dealers across Trinidad and Tobago being harangued and harassed by the police. But Brent Thomas was kidnapped in Barbados out of his sleeping bed and put in a cage without following the rule of law, without extradition treaty, without law, with great passion, with the ability to do the wrong thing without repercussions. And we hear that it was not the Commissioner of Police who authorized the use of a CARICOM jet. And Rowley says not he. Fitzgerald Ethelbert, Bodybag Hines says not he. So how they reached, why they went, and why were they so passionate? Where's the passion on the murders and the carjackings and the home invasions? But Rowley knew what he was doing, and he would go that far just to try to be right, to try to put an idea to you that he did not misbehave in public office, that he had good reason to cause Paula May Weeks to crash the entire Police Service Commission, thwart a merit list, and give Rowley the control of the Commissioner of Police now, who he appoints year by year. So she has to do his bidding. Look into the mind, the heart and soul of a man who would do that, not caring of the consequences or the pain that it puts on innocent people. Think about that. That is Keith Christopher Rowley. And that man is telling you once again, no election observers. In 2015, the PNM had an EBC chairman, Masson, who increased the voting time by 1 hour and did not tell one of the competitors. Think about that. Judges in the Court of Appeal said that was wrong, but they couldn't tell exactly how many votes that would have impacted, and therefore, because they couldn't actually count the number of votes in all the 41 constituencies, that they could not really say with certainty that it impacted the result of the election. Poppycock. All of you know the one good thing the PNM could do. The one thing since 1956 is the PNM election machinery is scientific, amazing, brilliant, and they know how to pull out their vote. They know at every hour, on the hour, how many people have voted, especially in marginal constituencies. So 1 hour advantage without the competitor knowing to kick in the machinery and to drag people out in marginal constituencies is a huge advantage. And now those people are telling you that in any election coming, no observers will be here. And you, the people, the only people who could stand in the way of cheaters, you, united like Tobago, to say to cheaters who want to steal an election, no. You want to know why you can do it? Because gerrymandering only works when the voter turnout is low and the races are divided by Rowley's racist rant. When people unite and vote, and there's a tsunami of discontent, and people say, no, we will not let you cheat. We will not let you steal an election. No processes for cheating can overcome the power of a tsunami of people voting. If y'all are not sickened by a cheater, I can't help you. God bless. Soak that in. Let your families watch this, see this, and get passionate about your country and remove anyone who would need to cheat to stay in power. That's why nothing works. God bless. Think about it.